dirty. And we do have... Wow!
Oh no!
You gotta be kidding
Oh
me.
my goodness!
For 3 weeks, we've been singing the same song. And the question in everybody's lips is, can Justin Perez make it 4? And considering this is a track that he hasn't raced at, chances are he might. But of course, we will see once the clock strikes 0, as we come live here at Rockingham Speedway for qualifying for round 10 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series. Hello everybody, my name is Alexander Vitale. Welcome to Rockingham Speedway in the heart of Thunder Valley, The Rock, one of the most beloved tracks in stock car racing. A track that is making its return after 20 years, like 21 years should I say more, of absence in the NASCAR schedule, even though it's just going to be in the trucks in the Xfinity Series, but still, it's the Rockingham is back. And of course, if iRacing is smart, chances are we might actually see a taste of next-gen racing in NASCAR, a little bit more accurate representation of next-gen stock car, next-gen racing at Rockingham with NASCAR 25. But of course, we will see once. If, of course, depends if iRacing is smart, as I said, and a lot of people assume they are. So, yeah. But that's going to be in the future, and also that's a bit off topic. So let's just go. Let's go back on topic, and yeah, as we stated, Justin Perez scored 3 in a row, and judging by the trend of these 3 weeks, that Justin Perez scored pole position on tracks he has never raced at before in the Grand National Series, or even in I think he didn't race in 2023 at all. He wasn't in the lineup in 2023. Chances are he can make it to 4 pole positions in a row, and considering, as I said last week, that Blaine Keys scored 5 in a row in the Cherokee Hill Truck Series, and that's something that AG himself told me. That's not far out of the. That's is not that far. That's not too far fetched. But of course, we'll have to check once we deal with pre-qualifying first, and of course with qualifying itself proper. But first and foremost, of course, we need to deal with pre-qualifying, and the drivers involved will be the usual. So Eric Monaco, Sam Elskin, the 2 Williams and cars of Carson Miller and Hunter Mendoza, and Jack Haas. But Bradley Ream managed to save himself from the hell of pre-qualifying, sending Tanner Pardon in his place. So for the first time, the 97 car will be partaking in pre-qualifying. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen let's see what Pardon is going to do now that he's got more effort. His efforts have doubled now that he's in the pre-qualifying bubble. He's outside the top 45. If we exclude of course we exclude Skip Silver, but yeah, technically like 37th, so even without Skip Silver he's still outside the top 45, so he still has to pre-qualify, but those are details. And speaking of Skip Silver, Matthew Huber confirmed to me that he will be in Talladega for next week, but again, this is going to be next week. We need to focus on the now, and I said pretty much everything that has to be said, so let's get the show on the road, shall we? And Sam Elskin will be the first one out of the road. Now, Rockingham Speedway, a track that it's a 1 miler, but it's a weird 1 miler because, if I remember correctly, 1 and 2 are of different bankings than 3 or 4, which makes this basically a very irregular and very hard track to get around. And of course, I forgot to mention in the intro, we didn't race here at all in 2024 for reasons that everybody should be aware of by now. So yeah, this also marks the return of Rockingham, and that's the second track that we have skipped in 2024 that we are returning here in 2025 as Elskin scores his banker lap. Somebody else, there's Pardon out in the pits. Miller is in the pits as outside is on the track as is Monaco. And now let's see. Oskan's score is a proper time, as Monaco scores his banker time. Oskan goes in and he scores at 23.5, so pretty slow. There's Monaco. Let's see what type of lap is he going to do. And 23.5, Miller goes third, 23.7. There's Mendoza out on the pits. Let's check out Tanner Parton. The new entry into pre-qualifying. Let's see what time the 97 car is going to do. 1:55 left on the clock. And 23.8. Let's check Jack Haas. Fourth, 23.6. Miller goes top of the table, 23.4. Monaco, 23.4 is in second. Let's check out Oskan. 23.5 is in third. We're now looking at Hunter Mendoza, the last driver that still needs to score a time. Of course, this is going to be a banker lap, as you would expect. As now Parton goes fifth fastest. You saw there, Haas scored third, but now it was scored second, but it was dropped back to third from by Monaco. Miller still top of the pile, and his teammate Mendoza is going to score his first lap, and it's going to be 23.5, it's going to be 44th. That's going to send Parton out of the race. Monaco was back top of the table, as Haas and Miller are second and third. Let's focus on Jack Haas. 45 seconds left on the clock. And Haas is going to do still third. Parton doesn't go better than 6, doesn't better this time. 23.6 for the Firework King motorsport car. As Monaco is now top of the leaderboards. There's Mendoza. Can Mendoza get a better time? 24.4, but not enough to get out of 4th place. Parton gets another better time, but is still stuck at 6th. So right now he is the only car out of the race itself. He's the car that would not be qualified. Okay. The time as we're now going into extra time. And looks like Haas might make it, as well as both Williams and cars. Let's check out Oskan. He's on the bubble, and no better time, but I guess it doesn't really matter for him. Monaco top of the leaderboards, and Monaco goes into the pits. He's pretty much safe. Miller is still second. And looks more and more likely that Parton will be out of the weekend. Now we'll focus on Jack Haas. What looks like to be his last lap, assuming he can make it before the time strikes. And let's see, nope. And that'll be it for pre-qualifying. And Eric Monaco will finish the pre-qualifying on top of everyone. Second will be Carson Miller. Third will be Jack Haas. Finally, he matches qualify for the race. Then Hunter Mendoza qualified is in 4th, so he will be in. And Saman Oskan is on the bubble, but he will be in. And the only DNQ for Rockingham is going to be Tanner Parton. Let's see if he can qualify for Talladega. And with that, see you in qualifying. And we're back here in qualifying, and Blaine Keys will be the first driver out, as well as Troy Williams Jr. and now Calasastri. We'll look briefly at Gene D'Amelio, who's going to be the only Firework King car in this weekend because Parton did not make it into the field. Now we're looking at Jeffrey Fink guy, and the last week's winner with Reggie Fogelman, who won a Bristol he won a Bristol under caution. Of course, 10 minutes for qualifying itself. Anderson's course is banker time. And we're focusing on Trevor Williams Jr. Even though we should focus on Blink Keys, consider that Keys was the first to get out of the pits, but whatever. More drivers going. Okay, Keys scores at 23.5, as Trevor Williams Jr. scores at 24.6. Anderson goes top of the pile, 23.3. Jeffrey Finga scores second. He's in third. We're looking at Monaco. Anderson scores back into the lead. No, that's Austria, never mind. That's going to dump Anderson in second. Really close time between the two Celeritas cars. There goes Stapleton out, the championship leader. Fogelman is in eighth. We're looking at Sostrai, as everybody now is scoring times. Let's focus on Sostrai, and top of the leaderboards for Sostrai, almost in the 22. 23.1 for the number 21 driver. Let's look at Nathan Stapleton. There's De Oliveira, teammate Ryan Little, and of course Carson Miller. Let's look at Stapleton as Finga goes second fastest, as Tom Anderson in third. Let's see Stapleton, and Stapleton goes 14th fastest. There's Glenn Keys, there's Davidson and D'Amelio. Gutierrez, then is Usken, as the 5 of Monaco goes, you saw them like in 6th, 7th, now he's in down 8th. It's getting pretty busy. Ooh, okay, battle moment between Fogelman and Davidson. There's Hunter Mendoza. So both Williams and cars once again in the race, as Koshmar goes 9th fastest. And you saw there Jonathan Carrison was in third, now is in 4th, as the 23 of let's look at Bray Segan. 23 of Alpha goes 2nd fastest, and Stapleton goes 3rd fastest. And will be Finga 4th, then it will be Carrison 5th, and Sostrai scores on provisional pole once again, as we look at Blaine Keys and Zachary Fitzwater. Morbidello goes 2nd fastest. Pretty much Morbidello has been himself there that he is as second booked the entire time. But in the meantime, looks like a Blaine Keys, he's 17th, while Fitzwater is in 12th. As Andrew Williams Jr. goes 3rd fastest. Andrew Williams, sorry, no, there was Trevor Williams Jr., I apologize. And Sostrai is still top of the leaderboards. There's Joshua Neely. Neely is currently in 25th. Let's look at Stapleton again. Oop, apologies for that. Technical issues strike once again. Stapleton is in 5th. Can he better his time? The championship leader. 2 wins to his name. There we go. As Monaco goes 5th fastest, Little is in 9th. So both Auto Animal Sports cars in the top 10. So that's the result that Benny Watson will be proud of. In the meantime, let's look at Avery Alford, currently in 4th. And Alford is still 4th. So we're looking at Justin Perez, the man of the hour. Actually, where is Perez? Perez is in 27th. Now he's using the draft from Skylar Taylor, as Oscar Mendoza again into the pits. 5 minutes and 6 left on the clock, and no better time for Justin Perez. No, he's still stuck in 27th. So, actually, no, I'm not going to say anything because we're still 5 minutes left. There's the rest of the field. There's Charlie Davenport, Brandon Beal. There's Andrew Williams. Again, sorry, apologies. Troy Williams Jr. is actually ahead of him. The 2 teammates, as Alford goes 4th fastest. That was Anderson going 5th fastest. Apologies. Now in the top 10 is Anderson, Morbidello, Williams, Alford. Sostrai, Morbidello, Williams, Alford. Anderson, Stapleton, Harrison, Fingai, the 51 of Davidson, and then Ryan Little. Speaking of Ryan Little, here he is at the top, at the edge of the top 10, and no better time for the driver, for the 75 driver, the sweeper of Darlington, of the Grand National Series race of Darlington last year. There's Genius D'Amelio. As we said, the only Firewall King car that will be racing at here at the Rock. And right now he is in, where is he? He is in 26th. There's Finn Guy, currently in 8th. Let's see what time is he going to get this time around. 3:35 left on the clock. And nope, still stuck in 8th. For the 41, for the defending champion. Who unfortunately saw his win streak stop last week at Bristol. And of course, as I'm pretty sure, as it can be assumed that he's going to try his hardest to try and win this. He's going to make it 3 out of 4. As Modos in the second, Jack Haas finally managed to qualify as he's side by side with Fogelman. Currently, Haas is in, where is Haas in 25th, so middle of the field for the Canadian driver, so not bad. 2:25 left on the clock. We're looking at Leonard Koshmar, the Hungarian-Serbian driver. And the guy is in 18th. There's Gutierrez. One of his teammates is in the top 10. That being Carrison is in 7th. And thinking of 7th, let's look at Giacomo. Giacomo is in 16th. Actually, there's Andrew Williams is currently doing 3rd. Pretty much nobody was able to get near the time of Sostrai. The closest was with Mo Vidal, but as you can see, he scored like 2 minutes and a quarter left on the clock, and nobody has managed to catch up to the 21 car. As we look at Sostrai, now side by side with Sloan. Sloan is currently in 2 minutes left on the clock. In the meantime, Sloan is in. Where is Sloan? He is in 32nd, so not a good result, not a good qualifying effort for the winner of the Oslo race last year. Actually, no, if he was the runner-up, actually, never mind. I think Fitzwater won that race. If I remember correctly. I should remember because I was in the commentary booth alongside. Ooh, somebody spun. In the meantime, 1:15 left on the clock. And I would assume, unless there's some major surprises, that should be it. As Koshmar actually went for fastest and more spinning. I have no idea what is going on. Let's look at Sostrai. Behind them, a train composed of Little, De Oliveira, Gardner, and Fitzwater. So, a Toyota, 2 Chevrolets, and a Ford. And this smoke. I have no idea. Actually, is that damage on? Yeah, there's some damage to Haas cars. I think he's the guy. He's the driver that spun. Besides from the skid marks. As we're looking at Koshmar in 4th place, dealing with Charlie Davenport. Davenport currently is in 34th, so not for none of them have been faring much. None of the PS Motorsports have been faring much, except for William Ayers. As now the time clock 0, so we're now in extra time. And currently top 10 is Carlos Sarstrom, Gary Movadell, Jonathan Carrison. Then it will be Andrew Williams, Milano Koshmar, Avery Alford, Al Emerson Jr., Nathan Stapleton, Jeffrey Finguy, and Zane Davidson in the top 10. There's the teammates, the OSC teammates of Neely and okay. Alford and Taylor hit the wall. Alford almost involved Miller into the mess. Unfortunately, nothing major happened, so that's good. And, well, I could see the accident of over 4 to be a big problem come race day. There's Carrison. If everything stands as it is, and it's going to stand as it is, Carrison is going to start in 3rd place. And Carlos Sastry is going to extend Ford's pole position streak at 4, but he will score his first pole position of the year, breaking Justin Perez's pole streak. Second will be Guillermo Vidal. Once again, Guillermo Vidal is in second place, as he himself stated, he is pretty much booked for second place. Then Jonathan Carris is in third, Andrew Williams, Leonard Koshmar, Ari Alford, Allianz and Jr., Nathan Stapleton, Jeffrey Fengai, and Zane Davidson rounding up the top 10, with Samuel Oskin and Carson Miller rounding up the field. And Justin Perez, not exactly a good result for the 17 driver. He's down in 30th. So, Carlos Sastry will start on pole position for the race at Rockingham, and Samuel Oskin and Carson Miller will round up the rear of the field. And as we stated, Tanner Pardon will be the only DNQ of the weekend. Let's see if he can make it into the main event at Talladega. But that's pretty much everything. So this has been a special presentation of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series 44v7 Network. I'm Alex Vitale, and see you tomorrow for the race. So long, everybody, from Rockingham.